We planned to drive from the city of Ajmer to Taragarh fort en route to Pushkar, where we wanted to visit the famous lake. The Ajmer city is like any other small town in India, full of cars, rickshaws, and people. However, as you head towards the fort, the road and the surrounding area dramatically changes. The road was very good. The asphalt was well maintained, and the road took almost L to U turns among the hills. The road shoulders angled up as we took sharp turns, once from right to left and back again. The interesting part was the visual treat, so to speak, is the fort corridors and walls built along the hill ridges. I wonder how in those days, when there was no mechanized help, how the engineers and masons built these forts, heaving the massive loads of bricks and mortars and placing them on one another. The only power was a horse and mules to support the mission. The sun in Rajasthan is known for its harshness in the summers and the dry, parched land were on either side as our Swift made her way towards the front fort gate onto the road which led to the fort itself. As a driver, you have to be really careful as the road is narrow and the oncoming traffic consists of merciless drivers who drive as if they were on a race. Every time a car passed, I guess we missed each other by a foot, and even then the excitement to see what lay ahead beyond the next bend was palpable. As we accelerated on, I was recollecting my night-long study of the fort and why was the Taragarh fort made its way into the history books. Taragarh Fort in Ajmer is about little over 10 kilometers from the Ajmer city in Rajasthan, India. It was built in 1354 AD under the reign of King Ajaypal Chauhan. We found the fort having a remarkable feature of getting constructed on a steep hillside. The fort has three main gateways that allow visitors to enter it. These gateways are the Lakshmi Pole, Puta Darwaza, and Gagaudi Ki Pathak. The fort is still well maintained and has great architecture. However, we found some sections in these gates are now in ruins. Taragarh Fort was famous in its heydays for its well-engineered tunnels that crisscrossed the hillside. During enemy activities, these tunnels were used to travel to the adjoining countryside from within the fort. It is a famous tourist spot and remains a fabulous example of the impressive Rajasthani architecture. The Taragarh Fort was a crucial military stronghold during the Mughal rule in India. Under the British, the town of Ajmer was changed as a recuperation center for patients. As we crested the bastions of the fort, the city of Ajmer was visible. Old mortared brick walls with its jagged surface stared at us, telling the history of the fort. Square holes in the walls were used by the soldiers to shoot at the enemy. One of the oldest forts in India, Taragarh houses the famous gate Miran Sahib Ki Dargah. This gate was named after Miran Sahib, who sacrificed his life while protecting Taragarh against enemy attacks. A panoramic view of the Ajmer city is presented when you climb to the top of the fort. The grey sky above, with the brown hills fading away in the distance, was making us feel as if the fort was trying to tell us the great warriors it had seen. This fort may have witnessed battles, as multiple warrior clans in those days fought for supremacy and control. At places, rich growth of trees, mainly kikar tree, could be seen almost on all the mounds that connected the fort walls to the undulating ground beneath. Couple of dilapidated buildings with its arched walls and parapets stood still, perhaps seen too much to be quiet now. A circular area about 60 feet in diameter was at a vantage point overlooking the entrance. We believe this was used by the kings to review the armed preparations before they could face the enemy. Outside the broken gates, we came across many decorated camels and wonderful horses that were kept for the visitors to hop on their back and take a picture with them. It was too enticing, and we did the same. It is part of the tourist culture of that area now. We felt completely drawn back in time.
Among other features that we found interesting was this fort had the biggest of the 16th century battlements historically known as Burj, which in those days carried on its shoulder a huge cannon called Garb Gunjam, which meant thunder from the womb. Well, hope you enjoyed the Taragarh fort with us. We'll request you to subscribe, share and leave comments. Thank you.